one out of a few recipes that every baker must know. It is how to make a vanilla cake. Now, a lot of you have been requesting more eggless or vegan recipes, and this one is for you guys. Whether you eat eggs or not, it's a great recipe. It yields a super light and fluffy cake. Now, these are cupcakes that I'm showing you today, and we're topping them off with a vegan chocolate buttercream, but of course you can use any frosting that you'd like. It's one that you will love regardless of your dietary preference, so let's get started. To begin, pour 250 milliliters or 1 cup of milk into a bowl. Today I'm using unsweetened almond milk, but regular whole milk is also fine. To the milk, add in 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, or regular vinegar is also fine, and just gently mix the two together. It should separate slightly, but that's completely fine, it's exactly what you want. And to the mixture, I'm stirring in 80 ml, that's 1/3 cup of oil. Any flavorless oil will do. Next, trickle in the vanilla extract, that's 2 teaspoons. And finally, 175 grams or 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar. Mix all of those ingredients together and then just set that aside for a bit. So now we're going to combine the dry ingredients. You'll need to blend together 175 grams or 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. To the flour, toss in 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda, and half a teaspoon of salt. Now I know I'm gonna get questions on whether you need all of those elements, and you do, because it yields a lighter crumb, and in order for these cupcakes to be nice and fluffy, you do need the baking powder, the baking soda, and the cornstarch. So when everything is well incorporated, you can pour in the wet ingredient mixture and just give everything a nice whisk till you're left with a smooth and fairly runny batter. At that point you can stop mixing, because over-mixing will result in the opposite of a tender cupcake. And that's done. So I have a cupcake tray lined with 12 paper liners. Divide the mixture evenly between each liner. You'll need to fill them about 3/4 of the way full. Now, in all honesty, I always make a little bit of a mess here, so if you have any tips, be sure to leave them in the comments. And when that's done, you can bake the cupcakes at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit for around 20 to 22 minutes, or until the cupcakes have developed a beautiful golden exterior and a toothpick inserted should come out clean. Now make sure not to open the oven door too much while these are baking, because that might cause the cupcakes to deflate slightly, and let them cool completely before frosting. Now you can frost these however you'd like. I felt like a vanilla buttercream on a vanilla cupcake would be a bit too sweet, so I went with a chocolate buttercream. A chocolate ganache is also perfect, like the one from the mocha pumpkin cake recipe. Now this is the same icing recipe as the one I used for the vegan chocolate cake, but the ratios are adjusted a little bit. So you'll need to melt 115 grams or half a cup of unsalted butter. You can use vegan butter if you're vegan, regular butter is fine too. Now if you are using vegan butter, I have had some explosions in the microwave, so maybe do that over the stovetop and learn from my experience. Once the butter is melted and relatively cool, toss in 65 grams or 2/3 of a cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. Give those ingredients a nice stir. Then add in a pinch of salt and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Now you'll need to alternate 360 grams or 3 cups of confectioner's sugar with 80 ml or 1/3 cup of milk. If you're vegan, non-dairy milk works fine. Now it will be clumpy in the beginning, but keep mixing, you'll end up with a dreamy chocolate buttercream. Now you can use this frosting on cookies or any kind of cake. It's less sweet than regular buttercream, so it's a really nice addition. I like to pipe the frosting atop the cupcakes using a 1M star tip. It just gives them a bit more of an elegant finish. You can also just spread the icing on top of the cupcakes using a knife. Now I'm completing these cupcakes with some chocolate sprinkles and crushed cookie crumbs, but feel free to go all out here if you like. At our house, we actually prefer these cupcakes to regular vanilla cupcakes because they don't have an eggy flavor, they have a very tender crumb, they're not overly sweet, and perfect for any occasion, whether you're celebrating or just in the mood for something a little more special. Thank you guys so much for watching as always. I really hope you enjoyed this recipe, and if you did, be sure to give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below telling me what you thought. For more recipes like this, be sure to subscribe to my channel. And if you give this one a try, be sure to tag me on Instagram. I'm at Hot Chocolate Hits, or on Facebook, also Hot Chocolate Hits. The full printable recipe will be available on the blog at hotchocolatehits.com with all the tips and techniques, so be sure to check that out. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.